Hey guys, it's Ashley, and today it is time for my January wrap-up. The year's flying by. January's already over. Oh my goodness. I had a pretty good reading month for the first month of January. I read a total of 10 books, 6 if you don't count the really tiny short Roald Dahl books that I read. So let's just jump into the list. I read a total of 4 books towards my year of Dahl. I'm not going to get into these in this video. I will be doing another video right after I post this one that recaps my Dahlian reading for the month. So the first non-Dahl book that I read this month was White Trash Beautiful by Teresa Mummert. This book was a disappointment. I already have a full review of this up, and I just really did not like this book. It got 1 out of 5 stars from me. I just felt like the writing wasn't all that great. It was very repetitive. I hated the main character. I thought she was really stupid, even though at the beginning of the book I was really rooting for her. She just made really terrible choices, and the relationships in this book just went from super unhealthy to unhealthy. They didn't get worse, thank goodness, but they didn't get really better. And I just really didn't like this book. If you'd like to see all of my thoughts, you can go to the review video. I will link it here and there. Next, I read The Road to Becoming by Jenny Simmons. This book I completely 100% loved. 5 out of 5 stars. This was just one of those books that I read at the exact right moment for my life. This is the story of Jenny Simmons, who was the singer in a band called Addison Road, which I loved several years ago, and then it kind of just disappeared. And so this book talks about what happened in that period, why they stopped being a band, and how Jenny kind of learned to cope with the death of her dreams, because, you know, her dreams were good, to be out there worshiping God and leading people into worship, and then all of a sudden her dreams literally exploded, and now she was trying to piece her life back together and figure out what her new dream was. She doesn't get to that point in the book, but she talks about it in such a way that if you've ever been there, you can relate a lot. It's something that over the past 2 years I've definitely been going through, and so reading this book was just like really soothing to my soul and helped me realize where I was and move on to the next step and see what is in my future, which is a weird way of saying it, but I don't think I can explain it better. I do have a review for this. It's on my computer. I just haven't finished editing yet, so it will be coming, because again, one of my goals for the year is to review every book that I read, and so I've fallen behind on that, but it will happen. I have a day off next week. That's what I'm planning to do with my entire day off, is film and edit videos, so stay tuned. But yes, 5 out of 5 stars. If you've dealt with the death of a dream, you're dealing with it, absolutely pick up this book. It's more memoir than it is self-help kind of book, but the way she talks about it, it's very inspirational and very relatable and very much encouraging. And I just absolutely loved it so much. So much. The next book that I read in the month of January was Alice in Tumblr Land by Tim Manley. This is a book that I borrowed from the library and I had to return it, so I don't have it to show you anymore. It was just a really short, fun book of little teeny tiny, like paragraph length stories of what it would look like if fairy tale characters had to now live in our world. It's written by a guy who runs a blog called Fairy Tales for 20-somethings. It's just really relatable and really funny, and I would recommend it. It is absolutely not for children. It is not that kind of fairy tale book, but I really enjoyed it. I also have a review for this already up, so you can click either place. This place, I've lost up with my sides. You can click places. You'll see it. Next, I got super obsessed with a new series, and that series is the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read the first 2 books in the series, Obsidian and Onyx, and I am obsessed, completely in love. So I had Obsidian already on my Kindle from like someday in the past when it was free, and then I bought Onyx immediately after on the Kindle, and I've loved them so much that I went and bought a hard copy. Actually, I got it on Book Outlet, so it was only like $3, so I don't feel bad at all. But it's so sparkly and pretty. And then I had to put myself in a timeout from the Lux series because I was ignoring all responsibility to read about Katie and Damon, and so we're on a little break. I will be going back to the rest of the series probably the end of February, because I gotta get some adult responsibilities done because I am behind in a lot of things. If you are not aware, the Lux series is a young adult paranormal series where a girl named Katie moves into a small town, and her neighbor happens to be a really attractive jerk face named Damon. But it turns out he's kind of a jerk face for good reason, because he's always worried about his sister because they're aliens. It's not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. Damon is an alien, and it brings all of these crazy things into the mix, and it's just a lot of fun, and I love it so much. To me, it kind of has like the Twilight feel in like the boy is mean because he has a secret and, oh, I'm just a girl, I'm a normal girl, and suddenly I'm into this world. But don't let that drag you away. I say it's like Twilight, but it's better. Like, everything is just a level above Twilight. I still like Twilight, don't get me wrong. But the writing is better, the characters are better. Katie is a book blogger, which adds a whole lot of fun and relatability to her character. There's just so much sass and snark, and even with Damon being a jerkface, he has a lot of redeeming qualities, and you can see why he's a jerkface. Because I probably would be too if I had to deal with his responsibilities in his life. I could just ramble on about this for a while. I will have full reviews coming for each of these books very soon. They will be full of spoilers, and then when I finish the whole series, I will do a series review that doesn't have spoilers for those of you who have not read the series. But just know, I'm obsessed, and I am in love, and you should go read it. And the final book that I read this year was Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. This is the Shonda Rhimes who has created Grey's Anatomy, Private Practice, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder. Because of some mumblings from her older sister, she realized that she never said yes to anything, that she said no to every opportunity that came her way, using the excuse, I have kids, I run 3 TV shows, I don't have time for anything else, when in reality she kind of did have time for some things. And so it's her journey to kind of get out of this funk that she's in of hiding herself away and just kind of being depressed and fat and lazy, going out and saying yes to life and yes to new experiences, and I just really enjoyed it. It moved a little slow. I wasn't the biggest fan of her writing style the whole time, but I still really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. One of the things that I really liked in the book was talking about how we shouldn't be afraid to say how great we are. And she doesn't mean that in like a, oh, I'm so much better than you, cocky, prideful kind of way, but in a way that she was at an awards show and she's winning awards because she's worked hard to create and produce 3 great award-winning TV shows, and when people acknowledge her, she just goes, oh, no, it's not me, it's my team, I'm so lucky. And she makes the point, why do we do that? She's like, I worked really hard to put out these TV shows. I work really hard on the things that I do. I should acknowledge that, yeah, I did do that. Yeah, I am awesome. I agree. She makes the point that, like, you'd never see a man doing that. A man would be like, yeah, I did that. But with women, we're just like, oh, no, it wasn't me. Oh, you're too kind. And no, we're not doing that. And so I just really liked that she was bold enough to say, like, yeah, I worked hard for this. I'm going to accept the praise that comes my way for that. And I think that's a great goal for all of us to do, is to learn to accept compliments, especially for things that we've worked hard on. You know, she does a good job of that. I know I saw in some reviews that people didn't like that they thought, oh, it's all about me. Well, yeah, it's her memoir. It's talking about her year and the things that she did. But at the same time, she's talking about the things that she did and how great they went and all of that, but she's also poking fun at herself, sharing the things that she really screwed up on, and she's also giving a lot of props to the people in her life who help her reach her dreams and help her along the way, who also put in a lot of work. And I think it was done in a beautiful way, that she blends that self-pride with acknowledging the team she works with, and it just came out wonderfully. And so I would recommend this book. I thought it was really good. I loved the concept. Like I said, it did drag in some places for me, but overall, as a whole book, I enjoyed it, and I will probably buy my own copy at some point. So there you have it. It was a pretty good reading month. Out of the 6 non-Dalian books that I read, there was only 1 that I didn't like, so that I call a success. Let me know your thoughts on these books down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you are off to a great start with your year, and I will see you soon. Bye.